the NEXTORCH Pioneer Professional Multi-Tool. Hello, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for taking the time out to check the channel out and view the videos. Right, today's video is all about this NEXTORCH Pioneer Professional Multi-Tool. Now, I was contacted by NEXTORCH a good few months ago now, asking would I review their products, would I take a look at their products. And I thought, as I'm doing a range of EDC videos shortly coming out, torches and multi-tools and whatnot, I thought, yeah, it's a great opportunity to see what they've got. They've got a fantastic range of torches, flashlights, and a couple of multi-tools. So I thought, yeah, send it over. There was a bit of a catch. I did have to pay something towards it. They didn't send it for free. Full disclosure, I didn't pay the full amount. It's more of a wholesale cost. So thinking is, you know, if I do like the products and I give an honest review, you know, there could be a possibility of stocking them in the shop. That's the idea. So yeah, enough about that. So I sent these over, this and a few torches to try out. I thought, let's have a look at it. I couldn't see much about it online. There's a few reviews, so I think it's been out for perhaps not even 12 months. So yeah, there's not many reviews about it, but what I have seen, it looks very good. It's in the box at the moment, but I have used it. I have tried it out. I've worn it a few times on the belt, and I've used it a few times. I've used it around the woods doing multiple tasks, and to be honest, yeah, very impressed. So what we'll do in this video, I'll get it out, the multi-tool I mean.
That is a shame.
Show you all the different features, all the different tools in it, and then run through a few demonstrations and the pros and cons. All I can do is give an honest review. There's a few things on it which I don't particularly like, or which they could make it better, but there's a lot on it I do like. So if that's the sort of thing you're interested in, stick around and watch the video. Let's get to it. So before we get out of the box, we just have a quick look at the box. So on the back you've got all the features all laid out. You've got all the specifications, the size, the material it's made, the steel, the finishing on it, plus all the weights and dimensions. Just over 2 inches long, or 54mm, and it's 268 grams or 9.45 ounces. And the overall size is 109mm by 39mm by 28mm. But it's all there in the box, and this size of the box just shows you a few of the features. So let's get out the box. Just the sheath. Again, you got all the instructions. We don't need to have a look at that. Let's have a look at this sheath. Yeah, so there it is, out of the box. To be honest, it's very well made. It's a really robust sheath. I think material is pretty hard wearing. It's got a couple of different mounting points on the back. You've got this belt buckle or strap with a popper on it, or a stud. Plus you've got a loop on the back as well for different type of fixing attachments. Personally, I've just used that on the belt, and this popper, you know, it takes some pulling off. So it's not going to just fall off your belt. If you take the multi-tool out, it holds its shape. It's like reinforced. Yes, it's got a Velcro fastener, which is not everybody's cup of tea. I did promise myself years ago I'll never buy Velcro again, as it's a right rip-off.
That's bad.
Sorry about that, it's a dad joke. So yeah, it keeps its shape, so that allows the multi-tool to go in and out with ease. Behave yourself. Sometimes if you've got the belt clip the wrong way around, it can snag, but you know, if you're in a rush, it doesn't matter which way you put the multi-tool in, it just goes in with ease. So that's the sheath. It's got a little bit of a drainage weep hole at the bottom as well, if you do get it wet. So there's the multi-tool all closed up. As I said before, on the box is all the dimensions and the weights. So it's not the lightest multi-tool on the market, and it's definitely not the heaviest. If you compare it with, say, the Gerber truss, it's more or less the same size, same weight and same size, same sort of dimensions. That's one we sell in the shop as well. So in that regards, if you didn't want the sheath, would this fit in the pocket? Yeah, you know, it's not too bulky, it's not too heavy, like I said, and it's a good multi-tool you can put in your pocket. Ideally you want it in your sheath, you know, but if you had to, this is quite comfortably go in your pocket. So we're starting the outside of the multi-tool. So as stated on the box, it's got 14 tools all in one unit. So the first one we'll have a look at is the knife. Use that one-handed. You can just open up with your thumb. Now I know you're going to say first thing,
that's not a knife.
but it's alright, you know, it's good enough size for a multi-tool, I think. Now this multi-tool is marketed towards emergency services, mountain rescue, you know, that sort of scenarios, and not to bushcrafters and survivalists. So the knife is perhaps on the small side for some, but for me, I think it's adequate. Bear in mind, if you are into bushcraft, you're more likely going to have a knife anyway, aren't you? This is just a multi-tool, as it says in the box. The knife can be opened up just using your thumb, one-handed, and it's just a little release catch there, or thumb lock. Just push that in, and the knife just folds away. Right, now if you're in the UK, unfortunately this is still illegal to carry, as it locks in place. But you could argue, if you're using it for your job, if you are in emergency services, paramedic, mountain rescue, anything like that, you could obviously argue the fact that this is for your job, isn't it? And you can get around that silly little law. So on the other side, the multi-tool, you have to swap hands if you want to use it one-handed. Just about do it is the saw. Again, not a huge saw, but the teeth are really sharp. What we'll do in a minute, we'll go and try all these different functions out. We'll just have a quick look at it first. So yeah, pretty impressed with the size of the saw for a multi-tool. It's on par with the size of the knife. You can see just about the same sort of size, perhaps a little bit longer, and sharp. That's what you want, isn't it? What more do you want? Now you're not going to cut trees down with it, obviously. And again, if you're into bushcraft, you're probably going to have a folding saw or an axe or something. So for a multi-tool, yeah, it's good enough. On this side of the multi-tool, you've got a screwdriver. Just click that into place, push it all the way back, and that's locked into place. Now that's just a flat head screwdriver, a traditional screwdriver, not a very big one, I know, but behave yourselves. But in a pinch, and you have to undo a screw, you know, you're not going to see many flathead screws these days, but if you had to, you know, you can undo it. Plus you could use it for other jobs, I'm sure. Now a good thing about this screwdriver, if you didn't want that one on there, there's another little tool on there, a little belt cutter. If you put that at 90 degrees, you can take the screwdriver out, and then you can swap it for a Phillips screwdriver. Right, so it's interchangeable. Fold that back in, so that's a screwdriver. Now we've just seen the belt cutter, so that's another tool. So little rope cutter, belt cutter. So this is designed for, say, cutting seat belts or cutting rope, where you can just slide this up, say, clothing or something, and then draw it and cut it. So it's a really good feature. Again, we'll try this out later on. On the outside, there's a little ruler. It goes up to 80 millimeters or 8 centimeters. Unfortunately not in inches, so anybody American, make sure you can read centimeters. And a belt clip. A really good sturdy belt clip. Again, if you didn't want your pouch, you can put it on your belt clip. You can attach it to webbing, anything like that. Now the next function on the outside of the multi-tool is one of the functions I think this makes it stand out to a lot of the other multi-tools on the market. You push this button down, this little thing comes out.
Okay, let me see it. Okay.
Let me behave yourselves again. Just show you again, look. Push that down, this comes out. And what this is a little cutter. Now it says it's designed for cutting plastic handcuffs, so zip ties basically, isn't it? But it's quite a neat little blade on there. So it'll cut numerous things, I'm sure. Again, we'll try it out later on. So yeah, nice little feature that. And I've tried this, I've cut plenty of zip ties with this, and it works. To close it, just squeeze that in and put the thumb lock up. There we are. Obviously open it again, push it down. Yeah, so a really good little feature that. And then the last tool on the outside is the bottle opener. Again, we'll show you that later on. Now I've used this at the bug out weekender. We had quite a few bottles of beer, and this come in handy. Sometimes I did struggle to open the bottles with it, but I don't think that was the multi-tool's fault, I think it was mine.
He was pissed as a fart.
On the underside there's a little wrench here for an oxygen tank. So it's not something I'm ever going to use probably, but it's built into that design there. I think there's a little QR code or something there you can scan. But yeah, there we are, a little wrench for an oxygen tank. So that's the outside of it. So we've got the knife, the saw, we've got the ruler, we've got the belt clip, we've got the screwdriver, we've got the belt cutter, we've got the bottle opener and the oxygen tank wrench, all on the outside of the multi-tool. Now the next thing you want to look at is obviously what's inside it. And I think this is where this multi-tool really stands out from others. And that's these shears inside. Really good shears, spring loaded, top quality shears. I've cut loads of different things with these, from small branches to material to zip ties, loads of different stuff. Again, like I say, it's designed for emergency services, so obviously a good pair of shears comes in handy. Again, like I said, we will try them out in a bit. We'll try cutting different things. And before we say, oh, it's just a pair of scissors, you open this out, close that end in, and you've got pliers. Again, spring loaded. And on the pliers, you've got obviously needle nose, you've got your standard grips here, pliers, and plus you've got two different sets of wire cutters for different size wire. And the good thing about these wire cutters, they're interchangeable, so you can unscrew them, take them off, you know, if they ever get broken or need replacing, and just put new ones in. So there you are, that's the tools. I think that's everything. The unit itself, I quite like the look of it. I like the colour of it, and it feels really tidy in the hand. When you get the saw out or the knife, you know, it's a really good grip on it. It really fills your hand, and you can really, you know, grip it hard.
Got a filthy mind.
And you do the job it's designed to do. Same goes when you're using the pliers or the shears. You know, it's not one of these little tiny multi-tools. It's a really good serviceable tool. Will do the job. So what we'll do now we've run through it and we've seen what it's all about, we'll go through each individual function and test it out. Right, so we'll try some of the features out now of the multi-tool. First one I think we'll try out is the saw. A little bit of a branch here, look. So there's the saw. So I'll do, we'll see if we can cut this off. So yeah, there's the saw. It'll do the job, you know, up to a certain size piece of wood, isn't it? You've got to be pretty realistic, you know, because the size of the saw, what sort of size timber you can cut. But the teeth are sharp, that's the main thing. Knife. Yeah, it'll do what most knives do, and that's cut. Strip the bark off that. You know, if you have to sharpen your pencil, cut a few things, that's what it's for, isn't it? It's not razor sharp, but it's sharp enough. I probably want to sharpen that a little bit more if I was going to use this as a cutting tool, you know, but as a multi-tool, yeah, it's good enough. Probably just want a little bit more of an edge on it. That's the knife and the saw. The ruler is pretty self-explanatory in it. You don't really need to test the ruler out. Screwdriver, lock that into place. Let's see if we can find a screw we can screw with the screwdriver. Yeah, it took some saying. Now the whole side I've got, I can't find any flathead screws anywhere. I haven't used them for years. But I have got some posi drive screws in there. But I'm not holding much hope up for this. This has been in here for God knows how many years. But we'll give it a go. Now the screw will start to turn, but it's just not the right shape for that screw, so we kept on slipping out. But it was moving slightly. I think, you know, another couple of hours, 3-4 days, it might undo the screw. But I think, I'm not sure if I've put a little bit of a curve on the screwdriver. Not sure. I'm not sure if it was like that before, but it looks like I might have bent that a little bit. But to be perfectly honest, if you're relying on the multi-tool to undo a lot of screws, yeah, you'd be better off investing in a tool set instead. But as an emergency tool, yeah, I'm sure this will do the job. Another one I really want to try, I say don't see this on many multi-tools, is this zip tie cutter. Yeah, that's no problem, is it? Let's fold it over. See, we'll do the two. doubled up thickness. Yeah, no problem. So we are a really thick zip tie. Look at that. Really impressed with that. It does exactly what it says on the tin or the box. So there we are. The zip tie cutter works perfectly, doesn't it? Now the oxygen tank wrench, I haven't got an oxygen tank, so I can't try that out, but I'm sure it'll fit and I'm sure it'll work. Bottle opener, I'll see if I can find a bottle to open in a bit. Before I do that, let's try out the shears. Now I've got several things to cut to the shears. First one being paracord. So everybody uses paracord, don't they? It's more likely the sort of stuff you're going to cut. So see, cuts that. Again, just put under tension a bit. Let's see if it'll cut this plastic. Yeah. So while I got these shears out, I will just mention as well what I forgot to say before. The ends have been specially rounded, so if you have to treat a patient with trauma and you have to cut the clothing away, you're not going to worry about snagging the shears on the skin or on the injury. Talk about clothing, I have got this old glove. See if we can cut the glove. Yeah, look at that. A lanyard. Not sure what regiment it is, but see if it'll cut it. Yeah. The last test is an old leather belt I got. Let's see if it'll cut that. Oh, easy peasy. Now it's cutting that leather belt, the glove, paracord, with these. Let's just see if it cuts something a bit softer, like a bit of bandage. Yeah, too easy for this, isn't it? So you got to think about what are the most likely sort of things you'll be cutting: clothing, paracord, you know, leather belt, glove, seat belt, anything like that. This does the job. Now the strap cutter, I haven't got a seat belt I can cut, but I have got strap on a walking pole. Now I've seen a few of these videos reviewing this, and they're not really reviewing it. All they're doing is unboxing it and going through the features. I believe if you're going to review a product, you've got to test it out. So that's why you're going through all these tests. So let's see if the strap cutter will cut the strap. Yeah. Look at that. Lorry strap. Now this is probably asking a bit too much for it. So cargo strap or lorry strap. Look at that. Yeah, really impressed. While we got the strap here, let's try the shears. Spot on. There's an empty can there, I'll just grab that. We'll try this as well. Yeah, no bother. Right, so we've done a few tests. The next test I'm going to do is the wire cutters. So as I said before, the pliers, pretty straightforward, don't really need to test that. Yes, you wouldn't do really heavy duty jobs with them, but it's enough to get you out of a pinch. So the wire cutters underneath, under the pliers, and as I said before, there's a couple of different variations in the cutting surfaces, and both blades can be taken out and rechanged. I've got a few different strands of wire to test. I'll poke my eye out. Let's go some copper wire. Now it's not going to cut this whole thickness, but I can take a few strands off and try that. And I've got a few different thicknesses of tying wire. I'll start with the thinnest one first. Yeah, easy peasy. Slightly thicker steel wire. So if I wanted to make a snare and I needed to cut the wire, let's see if this will do the job. Now the top part of the wire cut is a bit of a struggle. The bottom part, no problem at all. So again, some steel wire, just a little bit thicker. Yeah, a bit more of an effort to cut it. but it cut it, no problem. Now we'll try the copper wire. If it cut that steel wire, it should cut this copper wire with ease. Yeah. Yeah, so good test. Your chicken wire, your chicken fencing, that sort of stuff. This multi-tool will cut it. Right, so there we are. There's the NEXTORCH professional multi-tool, the Pioneer. I'm pretty pleased with it, very impressed, but there are a couple of issues to think about really. The knife, yes, it's a little bit small, and it could be a little bit sharper, but again, it's a multi-tool, isn't it? It's not your primary knife, it's just a multi-tool. The saw, again, a little bit short, so when you're cutting twigs, sticks, you haven't got much of a stroke. But again, it's a multi-tool, isn't it? You're not your main saw for cutting. Another point I wish I considered is having a nice straight edge, like a 90-degree spine on it, so you can use it for striking a ferro rod. They could have easily done that, on the ruler edge there. But I suppose they're not marketing it at bushcraft, survival. They're marketing it at, emergency services, that sort of stuff. But I think that would make a really good addition if they could take this out and use it on a ferro rod. And another thing, it hasn't got a file. Now, most multi-tools have a file, loads of different uses from, and I think a really good handy usage for a file is striking matches. So if you are out in the woods, everything's wet, everything's damp, and all you got left is your windproof, waterproof matches, but nothing to strike them on, you can use your file. So I know it hasn't got a file, and you don't have to put one in, but what they could do in this inlay on the ruler, you could have a rougher finish to it, a bit like a file surface, where you could strike matches. And the screwdriver is not the best. It doesn't lock into place very well. Yes, you can interchange it with other screwdriver heads, but it's not the best screwdriver. But if you had to rely on that as a screwdriver, you're in pretty dire straits. So a couple of little niggly points, but overall, a really good multi-tool. The shears are fantastic. This zip tie cutter is really good idea. But there's one thing we haven't tried out, and that's probably one of the major things, one of the most important things, and that's the bottle opener. So let's give that a go. Yeah, that works. Yakida. So there we are, guys. There's the video. There's the NEXTORCH Pioneer multi-tool, professional multi-tool. I will be doing some more videos on NEXTORCH products. I've got a couple of EDC torches. This is the TA20 tactical torch. Got the E52C, whatever it is. Again, this little EDC torch. Plus, they sent me some sort of, Christ, dropped it. Some sort of survival pen or something. So have a good look at that. So first impressions, really good kit. But for now, that's the video on the Pioneer. A great all-round piece of kit, which will do you well. Now, if you do like the videos, please leave a like and subscribing. Hit the notification bell. And if you do want to see some more videos, check that one out. And that one. And I'll catch you again next time. All the best.